Hey guys, JH, welcome to practice tee. And it's a horrible practice tee today. It is freezing cold. Probably about 60 km/h wind. Just terrible. Okay, what I want to do is go on from the theme we had the other day where we were talking about being able to utilize the mass that we have to its fullest potential, to its best potential, or maximization of it, or the best potential that we can apply in terms of maximizing it. And I got a couple of comments from a few guys. I don't know what the audio will be like today, guys, it's so windy. I got a couple of comments from a few of the guys where they said, okay JH, we are senior players, and even though you're an older guy, me being 80 this year, you've still got a fair bit of capability to rotate and transfer energy, and you clearly haven't got any joint issues. And I don't, guys. I'm really lucky with the millions of shots I've hit over the years. I don't have any joint issues. And they said so, and one of the guys, and I think it was a guy from East London or East England, where he said, my body is just not as mobile or as flexible as yours is, JH. And I've got hip issues and all types of things. And if I tried to get through the ball as much as you do, I do myself an injury. So I said I would try and work out a way that if you don't have the mobility that I've got, that you'll still be able to apply mass more than you're applying it now. And by that, guys, I mean if we transfer enough on the backswing, and we should be able to transfer enough on the backswing that we don't need to have an excessive amount of retransfer on the downswing. If we can just load better in the backswing, and by loading I mean getting this pelvis really transferred in that diagonal fashion here as much as we can. Now, see what's happening there, guys? Watch my right leg and my right hip. When I transfer like that, my hip is actually getting outside my right foot. Now that traditionally, if you did that with a conventional pivot and you did that, you'd be swaying because you'd be taking your head with it. But if you can transfer the energy or the mass out there and get it way over here, sort of feeling like it's outside your trail foot, but your head stays there, you haven't swayed. All you've done is transfer the mass and stored more energy. That's all you've done. So that's what I'm saying to people. If you don't have the ability to return and re-rotate as much as I do, you don't have to. If you can, in the backswing, and what'll help you do this, guys, is narrow up your stance a little bit. If it's wide, it's hard to transfer the weight, but if it's narrow, and Mike Austin had a very narrow stance, and so did Mike Dunaway. So if you have that narrower stance, you'll find it easier to get the mass over here. I feel like I'm out here. As well as doing that, guys, to increase, and my nose is running because it's so cold. And what'll help you get that transfer into that trail hip here, and guys, this is a conventional golf swing. You can do it with channel lock, I'm sure. I haven't done it yet, but I'm sure you can do it, and I'm going to do another video later in the week when the blizzard stops, the Arctic blizzard. But for the time being, conventional golf swing. So if we narrow that stance up a little bit, and we're going to transfer it out here like that, do it in conjunction with pitching the lead shoulder down, guys. If we pitch the lead shoulder down, we can actually get the weight across more. If we pitch it here, it's basically pitching that mass back this way. But if we pitch the lead shoulder down, the trail hip wants to come up, the trail shoulder wants to come up, and we can get this action. We can get this motion here. We can get that. If we turn our shoulders too flat, we can't do that. Look, I'm locked up here in that lead side, and this has stopped turning or stopped shuttling that lead hip. So that's what we've got to do, guys. We have to pitch that lead shoulder down, and giving you a look at that this way. Okay, watch my lead shoulder. Pitch it down. Here. Get over here like that. Pitch the lead shoulder down, and on the through swing, just pitch it up, and just fire that club into the ground, or at the golf ball. Not so much into the ground, but just at the golf ball. I'm freezing, guys. Absolutely freezing. My hands are blue. So what we want to do is this. Here, and then we don't want to come right through like that, like I've been doing. I'll just do one of those. I'm saying for the people that don't have the flexibility or range of motion that I've got, and drive factor, you can still drive that once we've got that mass over there, you can still drive that back to the ball. But don't worry about going through. Just drive it back to the ball, and you could even stop there if you wanted to. But the fact is that you're moving that mass you haven't been utilising before, you're moving it and creating more energy. I'll just show you one of the, for the people who've got the mobility, how much you can and you should move in that here. Look at this, guys, look where I am. I'm heading straight into the sun here, so I could see the ball come down, but I can't actually see it in flight. And the wind is just here. There's an out of bounds fence here, which you can see in the background here. And I'm just aiming it straight down just inside that out of bounds fence. Now, that's the conventional move if you've got the capability to do it. If you can go and get through, that's okay. But in doing that, try and get that trail side driven to the point that we're in line with the club when we hit the ball. We don't want to advance the club or the arm, the lead arm, too much, because that makes it, if you're going to drive the mass here, but you advance the lead arm too much, it's past its potential mass transference and energy transference capability, because we can't release the club head, guys, because the hand's too far out here. We want the arm, this lead arm, back here as much as we can, and the trail arm as close to we can get it, having it over the trail thigh. That's if we're going to do a full rotation like this. It's 5-iron, guys. It's amazing how far that's gone. For me, for old JH, it's not amazing for any of you long knockers, but for old JH, it's so I'm swinging myself out of my shoes, guys. Shoes are coming undone because I'm swinging so hard. All right, now the idea of this video was to let you know that you can apply the mass more than you have traditionally. We're going to take advantage of this more than you have traditionally, but you don't have to fire it through as much. As long as you can fire it at the ball like that, that'll stop all that excessive hip rotation, exacerbate any problems you may have with your hips. It may do that, guys. Well, I don't think it may absolutely do that. So what I'm saying is, We get our pivot here, we get it out to here, then we just fire it down there like that. We don't have to go any further than that. We don't have to go any further than that. Now that's just basically stopping the body and just firing the arms. That's just applying the mass there, guys, but not thinking of taking that mass through so much to the lead side. We're just applying it at the ball. Look at that, guys. I'm even into a flexed lead leg. Now when we transfer the energy completely, we've got that lead leg bent, so we're really firing down into the golf ball. But if we keep that lead knee flexed when we hit the ball, and we're moving that mass down, we can still apply a lot of force. Not a bad way to hit the ball, guys. That's really interesting. I haven't done that with this golf swing, and I was only thinking about it for our subscriber from East London, or East England, or England East Coast. I can't remember, forgive me. But there's a lot of power in that. That ball's going a long way. And I just feel like I'm here. The mass is being transferred, but it's just stopping here. It's into the ball, so impact and collision's over. So we don't have to keep on with it. That's only for people that don't have the range of motion, or have some associated injuries. So I'll just do one more of those. So we're going to transfer it, guys, into there. Steeper shoulder turn. That's just fantastic. The contact in that. The contact's extraordinary. I'm hitting off the same place here, guys, because I just don't want to move out of the camera position. Where the sun is, I'll probably be a little bit in shadow anyway. So the question, have that deep shoulder turn, try and get that mass outside the trail foot, and then just fire that mass at the ball, and don't worry about doing anything else. When I say the mass, the whole of the trail side, drive that right leg, right arm, right shoulder, right rib cage, right thigh, right buttock, everything. This is for the people that cannot transfer as much in rotation as I do. It's hard for me to have a narrower stance because I've always had a pretty wide stance. The only thing I notice with that is it gives me a steeper angle of attack, which is not a horrible thing, but it just gets more clamp on the ball, and I normally don't like to clamp the ball. I like to sweep it. But that's a lot of jam on it. The reason I don't like to clamp the ball too much, guys, is because it puts too much spin on it for me. The ball balloons. I'd rather have a level attack and then the ball flights itself better. Pitch that shoulder down. See, guys, I haven't gone through. This is still back here. But I'm into that lead knee. So you can do that, yes. You can do that. As a matter of fact, when it's windy, I could do that myself, because the penetration in ball flight you get is really good. Well, I'll just do one more of those. Come on, Jace. Steep shoulder turn. They're really straight, guys. We've got a hard wind off the left here, and I'm just aiming it like 5 yards inside the boundary fence, and it's exact. The posts up there are about 10 yards or 8 yards apart, and I'm aiming them for the corner post and the associated post 8 yards, and they're landing in that corridor with that hard left to right wind. So that tells you and shows you, well, you can't see it, but it tells you, because I'm telling you, that it gives the ball a lot of integrity. A lot of integrity. Come on, Jace, you can do a better job of transferring. That's pretty strong. Just hit a couple of drivers. Oh. Now this is with the full rotation, but the main point of the full rotation update today, guys, was I just want you to pitch that lead shoulder down more and try and get the weight sort of outside, the mass outside that trail foot, but not the head, of course. The head stays there and the mass moves out. That's the full rotation. See, that trail foot is out, that hip is rotated, that buttock is driven through. Now guys, I've only had one session, this is only the second session, but I haven't yet been able to drive my trail leg as hard as I want to up to the impact zone. I haven't been able to do that yet because I haven't hit enough reps. Okay, now this is the same mass loading, but without we're going to have the mass loaded and we're going to fire it into the ball, but we're not necessarily going to continue on with the mass rotation after that for the people that have, you know, physical issues with knees and hips and whatever. So this is just same transfer, same shoulder. See, this is back, guys, look. That's back. But the energy's gone into the ball. The energy's gone into the ball. What's it feel like? Feels like here, or loading here, and then driving to there, and basically it's all over there. Don't worry about the follow through. Momentum will take the club through, but it won't take you through. Oh, come on, Jason. Put some mumbo on it. See guys, I'm back here. That trail leg hasn't got through. So, to answer that query from our subscriber in Great Britain, yeah, you can do that. You can do that. But the main theme of the original video on this and the original start of this thread of mechanics was that we were going to drive that trail side as much as we could, the mass, and get it going as much as we could in the follow through like this. There I am, guys. Look where the trail leg is now. Look where the trail shoulder is. That's really, really strong shot. And typical of JH, in my haste to set the camera up with the bad weather, I put it on a downslope. So I'm actually falling into the ball. But that was really good. Okay, I'll do one of each. This will be a same mass, but not carrying on the mass, firing after the ball. Mass is still gone there, guys, but it hasn't continued going. Alright, so I'll show you what this transfer looks like on this angle here. Hard for me to even see the ball here because the shadow's on the ball. But you'll see how much I'm through the ball, how far this trail shoulder is through, and how steep the shoulder turn becomes. See where I am here, guys? I'm over here. I'm target wood bound. Now guys, what I want to cultivate and develop going forward is some smoothness of that. I want to give myself some time to get it back here, get it loaded and then fire it. It's hard to do when you're cold, but that's what I want to do. I want to have a lot of smoothness. I want to have a smoothness index in it. Here we go, here. That's how I want to finish there. Now you can see where the arms and hands go post impact. They've gone as they should go, in a circle. See guys, look, foot's out. Okay guys, I'll just take a break. I'll go and get some more balls and I'll just talk about a couple of other aspects of this process and how we can build it and develop it going forward.